Okay. Live stream is starting. Okay. Hello guys. Hello guys. The morning start again. I'm drinking coffee. Hello. Hello. I'm on the time, right? I'm not late today. There's no any sugar, no cream. I only drink coffee. But I don't make a strong coffee. It's only, yeah, coffee. Mm-hmm. Let's start. Okay, I think I can start now. 1 second. Let's check. Everything's working. Everything's working. Hello again. What time is there? I think. Really? Where are you from? Hello, hello guys. Where are you guys from? Let's talk about where you are from. Because you say that the topic is interesting. But actually, okay. Let's start. Guys, ready? I'm ready with one cup of coffee. Hello guys, good morning. Italy. So you're from Italy, but you're afraid of your this topic is very interesting for you, because Italy has such an easy passport, isn't it? UK has an easy passport too. Okay, let's start. Austria. Wow, Austria, UK, Italy. US. Okay, good morning. Okay. Hello guys, it's Jim from universitywithme.com, and it's about cycling around the world. Today my topic is about how to prepare visa, and this is the thing you need. This is my passport, Korean passport. The reason why I want to talk about this topic is many people ask me like, hey, how do you prepare a visa? Hello. So I want to talk about this topic. But before, actually, to be honest, I'm not sure why people ask me this, because it's a simple thing. Or maybe, so I guess there's two reasons why people ask me about like how to prepare visa. The first reason that they don't have experience of traveling the world. The second thing is that they have a very difficult passport to get visa. So I think that there's two reasons why people ask. And let's talking about hello. You're in Europe. So let's talk about how to prepare visa. But it's quite simple that there's two things. No, actually, there's only one thing you should do that. You have to search online in your language, because every country has a different like a contract with other country. So, for example, in Thailand, I don't need a visa and I can stay 3 months. And some people they can stay only 1 month, so they apply visa if they want to stay like 2 months or 6 months. And like I don't need a Russian visa, but most of people needs visa, so they have to search. And like Dubai, many of like 40 country people they don't need a visa, but some, and then all the other like on the other side like 60 country they need visa, and they have to search in their language, and they have to talk to the embassy if they cannot find the information. So search on online. That's the first solution, and you should search in your language first. And the second thing is that if you cannot find the information, you have to call the actually embassy in the country you are going, or the country in your country. But sometimes you cannot actually even like find the solution. So the actually maybe the second thing is a bit, maybe it depends, but best thing is that actually you call the embassy of the country and ask, hey, I'm from this country, how can I get visa to enter your country? And they'll tell you how to get the visa. For example, when I was in Hungary, I was preparing Central Asia visa, and I was not sure about how to get the Turkmenistan visa. So I called the Turkmenistan embassy in Austria because there was no embassy in Hungary. So I called the Turkmenistan embassy and I asked, hey, I'm from South Korea. At this moment, I'm in Hungary and there's no embassy, so I called you. And how can I get the visa? And they told me like, hey, we will send you. You need this, and tell me your email, and we will send you this requirement. You can apply on online. Actually, Turkmenistan visa was very difficult to get last year, but I got very easily. I was lucky. Yeah. Actually, yeah, one of the reasons actually I don't know why like people ask me because my passport I really don't need a visa for many countries. I just enter and they just stamp. But I know that many of people need a visa, so this topic is interesting. So I told you search on online and call the embassy of the country where you want to apply. Like in where was it? In Tajikistan, I need a Chinese visa. So I went to Chinese embassy in Tajikistan. I just walk in and then I waited my turn and asked the immigration officer, sir, how can I get the Chinese visa? But they said, oh, you cannot get visa. We only give the Chinese visa to local people, and you're a foreigner, you cannot get. So sometimes it really doesn't work. So this is a really important thing that you must search in advance. So Tajikistan, I was like 2 3 months before entering China. So if I really if I was in, let's say, like the country before entering China, let's say I was in Kazakhstan, and then just I go to the border and try to cross the border, and then definitely I can never cross. Even I beg and cry and whatever, it doesn't matter. They don't accept if you don't have if you don't have a proper visa. So it's very important thing that you must search about the visa before going. I'm very careless person actually. I drop many things and you can see that you cannot see I have some crap on my phone. You see that I always drop something and I lost something. I don't know, I'm kind of ADD person. I lose things because I don't know, in my head so many thoughts. And also maybe when I talk, I sometimes mumble all those things because many things in my head, I don't know. So I usually I'm this kind of person that I actually cannot prepare well things, but at least I really prepare well about visa. Visa is the most simple, basic, important thing you must care. It's the first thing you care before entering at least few months. If you have such a 3 months plan to travel, and you must actually check at your home. But I'm traveling the world. I keep moving, so I'm just checking the visa on the place where I'm traveling. But it's better always actually to check the visa requirement. You can just search visa requirement in your language. Yeah, if you speak English and then but then your country is like Australia or England or America is, this a few different countries here the English, so you check like let's say Vietnamese visa for American, Vietnamese visa for Australian. You can search like this. So you really must check in advance. This is very, very, very important. One time I was traveling with some guy, like is my cycling partner. His country was small, so many times he had a problem and he didn't search in advance. So it was very stressful and it was not easy. And like one country, it was called Oman in Gulf. He really couldn't get the visa, and even there was no such information for him because his country is small, so there's not really information. And later, actually, he couldn't enter, and he just, so as you see, if you don't prepare well, you really cannot enter, and then you cannot go back because Iran. There was the before country was Iran, and Iran needs visa, so there's no visa before country, no visa for next country, and the stuff that have to fly. So you can be really stuck if you don't have a visa. So at least 3 months, 2 months, prepare before. Mm. There's one tip that on the at the end of my passport, I put the picture because when I apply visa, they always ask passport picture. I mean, but it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to have a same picture. But it's just a passport size. And many times I told you that I forget, I lost. So I put the picture here, and it's like at least like 4 or 5 pictures here. So like I go to some embassy and I forget, but oh yeah, I have a picture here. So it's really good tip that you put the picture behind, and you don't need to you don't need to go back home to get photos. And there's one thing, like another tip is that uh, to get visa is quite stressful, and I don't like actually people from embassy, any kind of embassy. I don't care like America, Africa, Europe. I really don't like embassy. Embassy, the place I really don't want to go because people are usually, I don't know what's wrong with people are very arrogant there. People always treat me like criminal. So I usually don't feel comfortable. They are very cold. Actually, coldness people are maybe from embassy. I don't know why they have to be cold. I mean, like Thailand is Vietnam, they are very kind, right? But if you go to embassy, you will see the coldness people from that country. but the thing is that I try to be very, very like kind, very polite. This thing that so when I go there, and I usually I say, "Good morning, sir. I would like to have a visa. Here's what I need. I mean, here is my passport. Please, could you check?" I try to be very polite, and I try to pick the word which is like make me small and make them bigger. uh, I love crossing border. I love to enter a new country, but the immigration officer always make me nervous, and they time to time they treat me criminal. I mean, like they don't say, "Oh, you criminal," but their act and their the word they're saying is very like strict code. So it's better always to be humble, polite, and make you small in front of a immigration officer. Actually, it's actually really true that I was talking to one immigration officer friend. He was a friend. I didn't meet him on the border. I was I was staying at his place as a guest. He's a cyclist, so he was with many different people, and I and other cyclist partner. We stayed at his house, and he was talking about the border. And actually, I was about to stay longer than my like visa exemption stamp, but there's something another rule, so I might not have problem or maybe problem anyway. So I was talking to this friend who is an immigration officer, and he said that actually, like in Schengen area, people can stay more than 90 days, but if you he said that if someone stay over the 90 days, maybe we'll give that person fine or not. Actually, it depends on the people's reaction. If people crossing the border is rude, we'll give fine even for only 1 day. But if people is polite and then try to be very respect to us, then we'll give just for 1 or 2 days. Not big deal that we'll just let people pass. So it's always really better to be polite in front of this immigration officer. This is another tip. I used this passport 7 years so far. Um, I made this passport 2009, and I went to Canada. I went to Canada 2010, and this will be expired to 2019. And good thing is that I can make new passport in any other country. It takes just maybe 1 month, and I almost oops, what is this? This is extra paper. I put the extra papers. I went to some embassy and I asked, Korean embassy, and I asked them, please, they have this kind of service, so I can ask for the extra paper. This is a little bit smaller, like a little bit smaller than smaller, but yeah. And I'm almost getting full. I don't know how many pages left. Let's see. Like that. This is my Canada working holiday visa. I'm really getting full, right? Oh, there's some left paper. I think I have a 3 so like 10 pages left. Wow. Almost full. This is my passport, and I've been so far 70 countries, or not 69 or 70 countries. But like how many countries you've been is not actually not important. I think it's just about number. We are, I don't know, if I say like this, it will be like serious. No, but yeah, I think we are very easy to attract the number. So if someone say I've been 100 countries, and we're like, but actually 100 country or one country is just not big deal. I think, yeah. How many visas did I need in like last 60 years? So let's say my country passport is the strongest passport in the world, but in the rank it is say the fifth countries. My country's fifth strongest passport, passport. But true thing is, I feel like it's the really strongest passport in the world. Like in Thailand, I can stay more than 3 months, and most of people actually I never seen any other country people that who can stay more than 3 months. Like all over, like the people they need a visa, and they can stay only 1 month or 2 months, and they have to extend it immigration. But I just cross the border and come back, and this one is 3 months. And also, I don't need a visa for Russia. I don't need a visa for Brazil. I don't need a visa for many different countries. It's very easy going. That's the reason why actually when people ask me about visa, and they're like, "Why you're caring about visa? You just enter, and they'll give you a stamp." But I understand actually. Yeah, later I understand that people having problem with like entering country because of visa. Tunisia, I love to go to Tunisia. Do I ever use agent to get visa for me? Yes, I use agent when I need, but I don't use agent if I can get by myself. For example, I couldn't get the Chinese visa, so I use the agency. and and also like Uzbekistan, I need a reference. I need a letter, so I must use agency. And also Turkmenistan, I didn't use. What else? What did I use? Also Iran, I need a letter, something reference number. So I used a tour company agency to get this reference number. So I have to pay like $30 something. But I apply by myself at the embassy with this reference number. So the only agency I really used was China. China was the I couldn't get the visa from the country where I was, so I sent my passport to South Korea with the DHL. I was very nervous. Can you imagine that, to send passport by mail? You don't have any extra passport, and you just send this passport by DHL, even it was in Central Asia. So, and one time I lost my package, so I was nervous, and it took 2 weeks, but thankfully it was okay. So somehow I thank to DHL service, but I have one disappointed accident with DHL. But I think it depends. Sometimes good, sometimes not good. So that was really first time ever I used agency. But sometimes, I'm not used to get visa before. Like at the beginning, like for Latin America, I think many countries people can enter easily. Latin America is easy going. Then many people don't need the visa. So at the first year, I really never applied visa. The only country I applied visa was Bolivia. But Bolivia was easy. I just went to embassy and then just write things and show something, and then I could get visa next day. That's the only country I really need visa in Latin America, whole continent. But then I went to Africa, and there was some country. It is called Namibia. Namibia is so beautiful country, and so many people go there. If who the between among people traveling Africa, but they apply many things. They ask a flight ticket. They ask travel journey something list, and then they ask a few things, and I decided not to go. I was if you ask a visa, I'll not enter. I was a bit like lazy at the beginning, but later I got used to how to apply visa. So in my memory, let's talk about how many countries I really need visa. So Bolivia, I applied at the embassy, and Namibia I didn't go. And this Ethiopia, I applied visa at the embassy. Sudan, I applied at the embassy. Sudan was a bit complicating that I had to go to embassy of South Korea, and I asked a letter, but so it took a few days to get a letter from my embassy. This is the only experience ever that I asked a letter from my embassy. And Europe, so easy. Even I don't need a Russia visa. And Central Asia is the continent everybody needs visa except some neighborhood country. So this kind of country, Central Asia, you can get visa so easily, like because this information is universal, so you can find the information so easily. And you can get you can use tour agency easily. So it's the really easy actually easy visa because so many information. But and China, I just applied in South Korea. So then yeah, so like Turkmeni, what's Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, I needed visa, and Tajikistan just online, and Kyrgyzstan I don't need, and China visa I told you I sent my passport to South Korea. So even this one was like 3 months before I entered, so I prepared really well visa, and now I don't need really visa for any country from now. It's easy, yeah. Which countries are the most bureaucratic and difficult with the visa during your travel? I think there's no difficult for me. I think every embassy was similar. I used agent for China for 2 years. Yeah, I think Chinese like, but if I'm in South Korea, I can apply Chinese visa by myself. But I was far, and I must get visa in my country, so I just use agency. But I really don't use agency if I can do. But it depends. You are so busy at the work, and you don't need time to go back and forth at the embassy, and then definitely you can use agency and save time. What did I do about medical insurance? I don't have a medical any. I don't have any insurance. But here, yeah, one time the Iran embassy. I was not sure Iran embassy. They ask insurance, but it depends. Some country they don't ask. Some country they ask. So for example, I applied my Iran visa in Georgia, is the country, and I need insurance. So I just went to tour company and I bought insurance. So it's 1 month insurance, and I made this starting rate is the same as entering Iran. So even actually to buy insurance is very easy. You just go to. I just went to tour embassy. No, not yeah, yeah. I went to just not embassy. I went to agency, tour agency. Like they book the flight and they book other tour, and also they sell insurance. So I went there and I bought some 1 month insurance. It was like $20 or $30. I don't remember exactly, or maybe just $10. And they give me paper, and I go embassy with this paper. But for 7 years, I didn't have any insurance. And only two things always I got sick with a cold. I'm still cold. I have still pain here. I catch cold, and also stomach ache. These two things are only bothering. Yeah, I'm having problem, but I don't have such other problem with the health. Did I ever lose my visa? Do I recommend carrying with me at all times or living in hotel? That's good question. That's good question. Um, but I think it really depends on you, how you're comfortable. I carry my passport all the time with me when I travel. So this is on my carrying bag. You know, I always carry my handlebar bag, and this passport is always in the front. And even like I stay in the hotel, maybe yeah, if I don't carry my bag, this is always with my bag. So if I don't carry bag, and then it means that this is in my hotel, or this is in some place where I stay. But if I carry bag, this is really with me. But in Thailand, I'm so far I've stayed like 3 4 months. But I live at home. I don't carry because I think there's no such a time. There's no such a time to use passport. But the good thing, you know, you can have backup. You can carry your driver license, or you can have your home country ID card. So if they need it, they can see this one. But actually, for me, I don't have any ID card. I had my Korean ID card, but I lost it, and I don't have driver license. So if police stop, I don't know what to do. Will never happen because I don't drive. But if I drive, maybe if I rent a motorcycle, then maybe I'll carry my passport in case if they need to report me, then I must this. But I'm just always walking or something, so I don't feel like I need. But it really depends. When I travel, I keep moving, and then I carry my passport. If I stay one place a bit longer, then yeah, I just leave it at home. And yeah, another things there, like if you have a license or like a home country ID card, you can carry that. Uh, if I need to stay some days waiting delivery for visa for embassy, how do I spend my time? You know, I have so many things to do. I have always blog and YouTube, and also I always keep tracking my accounts. So accounting is another my job. Like accounting takes 1 or 2 hours, at least I must at least like once a week or 1 or 2 times a week, or I must do it. So there's so many things like checking map, and then also I always check the information of the next country, like visa, route, and this thing. And also I answer people's email, and then I write blog, and then I like organize picture, edit the picture, and then make video, and also I have to do tour. But let's say like, there's like 6 things, and these 5 things about like my traveling, and these 3 things about like blogging, and this thing I don't do many times. I have so much pressure. So if there's too much pressure, then I really cannot work. So yeah, discovering city, or yeah. So when I was in Tajikistan, I had to wait 2 weeks to apply visa, to get Chinese visa. And I contacted, couch surfing, like local people. Hey, I'm in here and I have already place to stay, but I love to meet you and I love to learn culture from you. And and then I had one contact, and I was hanging out with her a few times. This is another way to connect to the people, the local people. Wow, today many questions. So so far there's like so less than 10 countries I need a visa, but in Africa, like what was the country? Kenya, Tajikistan, no, Turk. Wow, suddenly I lost. What's the name? T. Kenya, Kenya. What's the next country? I forgot the two. Okay, I forgot. How come I forgot the country name? If I'm wondering, I must search it online. No, Kenya. What's the country name? Next Kenya. Tanzania. Okay. Kenya, Tanzania. This is the country they give me the visa on the border. So I don't know, it was $50. I don't know why they put big sticker. I just paid $50 and they put big sticker, but they called it visa. Yeah. Do I have a handle visa application that asks about job or source of income? That's a good question. So in to apply letter from what's the country? Uzbekistan. So Uzbekistan is a bit no. So to apply Uzbekistan visa, you need a few things. But first thing is the letter, and this letter you can get from tour agency. And tour agency you can find on my information. You can find on my website. And so then this tour agency has a requirement. So these two steps. One step is you have to pass this letter, and the second thing is that you have to pass this embassies. So this letter they ask me. No, actually I'm a bit confused. Anyway, for Uzbekistan visa, I didn't need a certification of my job. But I have traveled so many years. Of course, I didn't have a job, and of course, I can contact a few years country where I work to ask, hey, can I get things, right? So, in this case, what can you do? You must give them the paper of your job, like like this, and you have to prove that you are a worker. And what can you do? Use the internet, make fake make fake paper. But I always try to follow the law, and I try not to be against the local country law. But this is not the thing. I did such a wrong thing, right? They ask some requirement which I cannot prove, but I not work in their country. I just need a visa. I'm not just tourist. Okay, then let's make fake this paper. And on online, I can actually remember exactly what kind of paper was. So working, let's see, working. I just want to search. No, I cannot search. Yeah. So in this also, if they ask a flight ticket, round flight ticket, but you don't have such a plan to like back somewhere by flight, and then you can book the flight and then cancel. This is a trick everyone is using. So because sometimes they ask a nonsense thing. I mean, like they said, oh, you must have a flight ticket like going out from my country, but you want to just cross the border, right? And then you just you find some website to book the ticket, and then you must check the is free to cancel. And then if you check, oh, this is free to cancel, and then book the flight ticket and print it, and then you can even actually cancel as soon as possible. But maybe sometimes it's better to cancel a bit like after a flight, but I think it's the same, just cancel the flight. So if they ask a flight ticket, and then book the flight ticket and cancel. If they ask a paper from your work, and then may search about like how to make this job proving paper, and then you just edit a few things. But I never been asked about like how my income. No, when I don't I did actually trigger again. So when I applied this. When I applied to this Canada working holiday visa, they asked me. It's not like ask, but they also like known that I should have at least $10,000 in my account because I have to send them one of the requirements for Canadian working holiday visa was my bank account. I have to send them like in English my bank account state. So I asked my relative, please can you send $10,000 in my account and I must give you back after proving my bank account. So I got $10,000 and I went to bank and I asked her that can you print this bank account in English because I need to show my this Canadian embassy so they know what to print. So they printed me, and then I sent $10,000 money back to my relative. This is so you see that actually there's always way to like going around, but here I really want to say that I always follow the law, but I did some trick, but I really didn't do any like harm other people. I just tour there. I never worked in other country. I never do any illegal work. So I think that I did something not right, but somehow I didn't do any break. I didn't harm other people. So you see that you can find always a solution for getting visa. Okay. Wow. Today I took a few different things. Also, your question was such a good. I think I think there's two reasons why like some country people cannot get visa easily, and in my opinion, there's two reasons that the country they have a conflict with other country, or so they cannot enter other country easily. This is a first reason why some country really cannot travel well. But I think the second reason is really main reason that the country's economy is not that strong. I mean, I'm talking about like GDP that when people's salary is lower and they cannot travel easily because other country are afraid that this people country will work under illegally under the table. So this is the main reason that why some countries people really having problem. But still, I think it's really unfair that I had a cycling partner and his country was very small and also GDP was low. So, but it was really painful to really watch him. That really so difficult to get visa, and I'm sure it will discourage many people to travel the world. And I feel so sorry that it happened to many people. But there's somehow you can travel the world. You can make some paper and you can work hard to figure out how to travel the world. I hope my information was helpful. Steve, thank you so much. You didn't break the law, you just bent it. That's cool. Thank you so much. So, how was my information? So let's make it simple. So, how to prepare visa? The first thing is a search on online in your language or search how to get like Vietnamese visa for American, how to get Vietnamese visa for Italian. You can search like this, and the second thing is they call the embassy of the country you are going in your country. So, for example, when I was in Tajikistan, I went to Chinese embassy and asked what do I need. And this is two things are very important. And also the last thing is that you must search in like few months. That's really important. You must know that what you need for visa. And the TV is there. Some just carry some picture behind with this tape, because many times you might forget the picture on the way to the embassy to apply visa. And be kind at the embassy, immigration, because the immigration office is usually a bit like cold. So it's very important actually to be polite at the immigration office. If you're arrogant, you might have problem. Okay, so today I hope it was interesting topic for you, and thank you so much for talking to me and listening to. Thank you so much for watching today. Hello, well actually I'm almost finished. So let's see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow again. And if you have any topic you want to talk to me, and please leave some comment. Then we'll talk about that. Thank you. Have a good day. Have an amazing day. See you. Stay tuned.